Buenos dias, buenas tardes, y buenas noches, bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. J. Slater case, and it is the 16th of June, one day before the second anniversary of J. Slater's disappearance, official disappearance, which was officially on the 17th. Who knows what really happened? But we're going with the 17th as the day J. Slater disappeared 2 years ago, 2024. Now, cap on backwards, white playing background means we are focusing on an accident group member, but actually it's not just one member. What I'm doing, because I missed the Sunday roast and I didn't catch up with Sunday roast yesterday, Monday, I'm having to combine. Such is my heavy duty of training for the Father's Day brawl. There we go. Such is the intensity of my training. I can only combine a few video items, and I'm combining the Sunday roast with focus on AG dullards that need to be highlighted. So it's a bit of a mishmash, this one, but some entertainment coming your way, I think, because I found a few funny things. Now, I haven't been able to really pick up on, maybe you have, I haven't really been able to pick up on what on earth El Slugtardo, Lord Lugworm, was on about, or has been on about, with all of this nonsense. It seems to be involving Matt Perney, good old Matt Perney. It seems to me that for some odd reason, El Slugtardo drove all the way up to the Midlands in the hope of coming across Matt Purdy, what, by chance? And sorting a few things out. Now, I might have got this totally wrong, but I just can't believe that a grown man, without an agreement in place, and maybe there was an agreement in place, but El Slugtardo is now too embarrassed to show us it. Was there an agreement? Did Matt Perney say, I will be at Dudley Cathedral at 12 midday and we will sort things out like men? Is that what happened here? I'm just going to guess, and I might guess wrong on this, but if you've been on Lord Lugworm's channel, you can see and you can understand what the hell's going on. Please let me know. But I'm going to guess here. Speculation aplenty coming your way. I'm guessing that El Slugtardo, without any agreement in writing at all, decided he would sort things out and was then surprised when he couldn't find, or the person he chose to target decided not to show up. It just seems that's what happened to me. I don't really get the story, but it is intriguing if I'm right that El Slugtardo drove all the way there specifically for that and then went home with his tail between his legs because he never had a contract or an agreement in hand. How old is this guy? Mental age 7. Yeah, I said that the other day, mental age 7. So the new ban in the UK on social media use for under 16s seems to me that El Slugtardo, based on his mental age, is going to be off all platforms fairly shortly, 2027, right? Now then, a few comments related to that I want to highlight. Now, one in particular, let's give Kaz Alice a bit of a roasting. She always deserves it. Kaz said, rather mystifyingly, nobody is ever that brave when they have to go head with Luggy, as we have seen before and will see again. They think, oh, it will never happen. What the hell is Kaz the Snake Alice on about? I have no idea, but again, we have to guess because these people are so thick as pig shit that they don't actually spell out what the hell they're talking about. It's always a guessing game. Always a guessing game. But it's interesting what Kaz said. Nobody is ever that brave when they have to go head with Luggy. What does that mean, go head with Luggy? Could Kaz possibly mean go head to head with Luggy, tête-à-tête in French, head to head with Luggy? Or did she use the wrong verb? Did she mean to say give? Nobody's ever that brave when they have to give head with Luggy. What, you mean like the cheapest tart in Thailand wouldn't even give head to Luggy? Is that what you're on about here? Well, I quite understand that. Yeah, that makes sense. But the whole idea nobody's ever brave enough to go head to head with Luggy, I would have thought, given the performance against Ali Harris, anyone over 5'2" with an ounce of gumption in them would be more than happy to go head to head with Luggy. In fact, that's what I'm training for. I'm assuming, because Luggy is obviously so ready to descend on wherever to sort things out, that his silence means he's accepted where I am. I've told him where I am. He knows where I am. We've given him the date. I've seen nothing that has indicated he's not up for it. So the training goes on, and we are all on tenterhooks until Sunday. But is that what you meant, Kaz? That no one really wants to give head to Luggy? But, well, the question is, Kaz, do you personally, Kaz, do you personally know someone that has maybe given head to Luggy? Tell us all, Kaz. Tell us all. Yeah. They think it will never happen. I don't know. I think a lot of people, Kaz, think it will happen and they want it to happen. Come on, El Slugtardo. Come on down. Let's do the tail of the tape and the weigh-in and let's sort it out. Yeah, Luggy says, my time always arrives. Again, what are the specifics here, El Slugtardo? My time always arrives. Your time for what? I mean, when you were in Northampton, El Slugtardo, and you were in court for, what was it, receiving stolen property that time, I guess your time arrived then, yeah? Yeah, you in court in Northampton receiving stolen property were the charges. Your time did arrive then. But what do you mean this time, Luggy? My time always arrives. Yeah, could be that your time removed from all platforms is arriving soon. Let's see. And good on PopeChris. Let's include him in the roast here. PopeChris. PopeChris says wants to put his money where his mouth is. Again, no idea who he is referring to. PopeChris wants to put his money where his mouth is. Would you, PopeChris, would you put your money where your mouth is? Would you do that? Let's see if you will, or let's see if you're a total hypocrite, which would be par for the course with the accident group. PopeChris, will you put your money where your mouth is? Because you recently, in that post from El Slugtardo that was removed by YouTube, yes, El Slugtardo put out a lot of personal information. The complaint, the report went into the YouTube robot. The YouTube robot instantly removed it. Of course, because it was one of those that broke the community guidelines. But in that post, and yes, we still have the original PopeChris, you said regarding the property called Résidence Baguera in Canet-en-Roussillon, you said, yes, the one above the pizzeria. All right, here we go, PopeChris. I am in that place, Canet-en-Roussillon, right now, and I will be until the Father's Day brawl, the Rumble on the Riviera. So, at any point between now and Sunday, PopeChris, I can supply the photographic evidence that shows there is no pizzeria at the Résidence Baguera. Nowhere near there. There isn't one. But you say there is. So, PopeChris, are you ready to put your money where your mouth is? I will wager, PopeChris, Résidence Baguera has no pizzeria within 100 meters of the place. I know that because I'm right in that town. You don't know that. You're judging it by a Google Street View thing from years ago. But are you ready to put your money where your mouth is, or are you going to retract that, PopeChris? Just like you had to retract that nonsense about the bus stops had not been amended in Masca due to the roadworks. Oh, you were so confident there. You'd looked on the TITSA website. You'd seen the evidence that there were no bus stop changes. Oh, you were 100% sure there. If only you put your money where your mouth is, and then, oh my God, Chris, you got it wrong. Are we having a moment 2.0, PopeChris, where you've got this one wrong, the pizzeria? Let's see what PopeChris does about that. Let's have a little look at some other comments on El Slugtardo's channel here. If we can pull one or two up. Where does he talk about Jay's Law? Yeah, this one is worth reading. Government taking action. Well, You know, I've got to say, the true cynic in me would say this particular UK government is not really the best at taking any kind of action. So, government taking action, not really. Government talking a load of baloney, maybe. But let's give Lord Lugworm a chance here. He says, government taking action against known problems with social media. I don't know, that's debatable, Lord Lugworm. If we're talking about under 16s using social media, that's a big debate. Are there known problems, or is it something that is more geared towards silencing free speech? Of course, stuff takes time. And some stuff doesn't take much time, Lord Lugworm. Some stuff takes time. But it gets dealt with all the same. Gets dealt with. You need GETS there, but it gets dealt with all the same. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, Lord Lugworm. He goes on, process is the name of the game. Okay, process is the name of the game. Idiots, IDIOT apostrophe S. As I said, whenever the apostrophe is in play, you can guarantee that El Slugtardo, mental age 7, will get it wrong. El Slugtardo, idiots, there is not a possessive. No apostrophe needed. It is a regular plural of the word idiot. Idiots, just with an S. Get rid of the apostrophe. As soon as you sit down and master this, Lord Lugworm, you will garner some respect from certain corners. Until then, we're all having a good laugh at you. University of Pisspot, West Wales. Remember, the only way to graduate from there is to show you have absolutely no idea how the apostrophe works. He goes on, let's see just how long it takes. Now, on this occasion, Lord Lugworm, it's let's see. And you need an apostrophe, because the apostrophe, one of its roles, Lord Lugworm, is to mark and indicate a letter that has been removed. It's missing. So, let's see is let us see. Yeah? The U of us is gone. So you need the apostrophe in there to indicate that. Now, I get it, Lord Lugworm, you don't know how to use the apostrophe, so you just change the word. Instead of let's see, you put let see. 7 years old. Let's see just how long it takes before another issue sorted for good in our country. Should be, let's see just how long it takes before another issue is sorted or gets sorted for good in our country. All right. Well, the thing is, Lord Lugworm, this social media ban for under 16s has nothing to do with Jay's Law. It's totally unconnected. And if you do want to argue about the efficiency of government and process and all that, I think you can say that this ain't going to work anyway. I mean, you only have to say the 3 letters VPN, and that will tell you, Lord Lugworm, that actually restricting use, whether they be for under 16s or over 16s, of any device in any country, is just not something a government can legislate. Oh, I mean, they can pass a law, but actually enforcing that law is way beyond Westminster. This is clear to nearly everyone, El Slugtardo. But I understand, mental age 7, getting all excited that some amendment, some law about social media is in the air. Oh, that means Jay's Law is going to happen. It isn't. What I recommend you do, Kaz Alice, Lord Lugworm, the Penningtons, you have Debbie Duncan's ear. She does listen to you. She shouldn't be doing that, but she does. What I recommend you do is be honest with Debbie and say, Debbie, we got it wrong. We encourage you to silence the social media goons, the tragedy trolls, and it all failed. Failed beyond belief. The government response indicates that. It's over. Now, Lord Lugworm, when you have that moment of honesty with Debbie, she might start to understand how you have ballsed up everything for her. If you can't find the cojones, Lord Lugworm, to tell Debbie the truth, she's going to keep making a fool of herself over and over and over again with these interviews. And the ridicule and the mocking, Lord Lugworm, I guarantee you, will continue. Not just from the likes of me, but from a whole host of people that have had it up to here, with Debbie Duncan spouting out absolute bullshit and nonsense fed by the likes of 7-year-old, mentally 7 years old morons like yourself. Let us carry on to the main piece here, where again we have lies from Lord Lugworm. Lord Lugworm says that Yours truly here refused going live with Luggy in 2025. That is a lie. So once again, let's clarify this. What I refused to do in 2025, Lord Lugworm, was to go on an EP group live with you. Again, the devil is always in the detail. And we never get the detail, we never get the specifics from the accident group. When Lord Lugworm puts out some kind of video that highlights what I've said, you'll notice he has to keep editing, splitting, merging things together, cutting bits out. The editing involved is hard work. There's a lot of it for Luggy. Why? Because if he told you or showed you everything that I'd said, it would be crystal clear that my message is completely different from what he wants you to hear. Once again, what he did in one of his latest videos was he had to chop off a whole lot of what I said to make it seem like I didn't want to do a live with Luggy. I've always wanted to do a live with Luggy, but with certain conditions. And what I made clear in 2025 was there's no point in me going in a group EP live with Luggy because EP's group lives were just a contest of who could say the loudest. And I made it clear. I said, if we're going head to head, there have to be debate rules in place. That's what I've said to everyone. I've said, if you want to debate me, if you want to go on a Zoom call live, we do it. It's unedited, but the rules are in place. We publish those rules that we've agreed to. And so the whole audience can see who's abiding by the rules, who's breaking the rules, and who comes out of that organized, structured debate, the stronger of the two. And this is why, Lord Lugworm, you've always refused to do that, because you know when the conditions are set, when it is a fair and equal debate, and when it's not a shouting match of whose voice can shout over the other person's, then you know you will lose. And this is why all throughout 2025, Luggy, you refused to go live and debate with me. You refused to. I refused to do it with EP's group live, in which you'd just be shouting over me. But if it's just you and me, Luggy, head to head, or to quote Kaz Alice, head, then I think you'll find that I am more than willing. And that is why you keep turning down my invitation, because you know you can't do it. And this is where we come back to this absurd scenario where it looks like Lord Lugworm is driving up to the Midlands to confront someone when he hasn't got an agreement in place. If you get the agreement in place, Lord Lugworm, the world can see what your agreement is, and then we can see who is to blame. One more time, Lord Lugworm, if you ever want to humiliate me, show me up, embarrass me, what was your word? You want to be the, or you think you are the dominator. Welcome aboard. Debate me? You can choose the rules. We'll publish the rules. Everyone can see it. And then you will be able to prove what a dominator you are. I'd rather think there's a better chance that you could be a dominatrix in your spare time. But if you think you are the dominator, let's get it on. Why not? Let's just have a quick look to see if there are any comments about this whole nonsense about yours truly backing out of a debate with Luggy. I've only ever wanted that since the very first day when Ivor Lovelace lied about me, saying that I was teaching kids in Valencia, Spain. When he made that up, I was like, God, I'd love to get this guy on a one-on-one debate to really see what he is made of when it comes to an off-the-cuff exchange of views. And that's why it's never happened, because Luggy can't do it. I mean, I've got to tell you, if you can't master the apostrophe, you can't master off the cuff, unedited debate. You just can't do it. Luggy knows that. So he has to lie all the time. Let's have a quick look at the comments here. Ben Anderson. I don't know who Ben Anderson is, but he popped up twice in Luggy's comments. He said, I see that your most recent posts, Luggy, threatening and attempting to encourage or incite violence towards Duncan have been removed. You're right, Ben. They were removed very, very quickly by the YouTube robot. And Luggy knows that. But what's Luggy's response? He says, you've never seen any posts regarding threatening and attempting to encourage or incite violence toward anybody. Oh, is that true, Luggy? In that case, why was the post removed? You've got a choice here, Luggy. You're either going to lie and tell us you chose to remove it, but then explain why. You posted something. It got removed. Why? If you removed it, explain why. If you didn't remove it, explain why you think the YouTube robot did. What was in it that made the YouTube robot agree with the reporter who said this should be removed? Very simple, Lord Lover, but we won't get an answer to that, will we? Of course not. Yeah. Bazib said Luggy, the one and only dominator. Well, dominator of speaking bullshit, of course. And this one by Kaz Alice. Kaz Alice. And as we all know, it is strictly forbidden in their world to ever change your mind. No, she doesn't say that. Kaz Alice says, and as we all know, it is strictly forbidden in their world to ever change you mind. Yet they can 180 any old time. Okay. Kaz Alice. I'm going to spell this out one more time. And hopefully that empty space between your ears will be able to process what I'm saying. Kaz Alice, listen to me. There is never any problem with any person doing a 180. I think Foul Play Group all agree with that. A 180 is totally acceptable. What is unacceptable, Kaz Alice, is when someone does a 180 and they can offer no reason why they have done that. They can't just say, oh, I changed my opinion, and that's allowed. Of course it's allowed. As I said, everyone is allowed to do a 180. Everyone is allowed to change their opinion. But Kaz Alice, if you can't justify and you can't explain why you've done that 180, then you make yourself look stupid, fickle. You really do make yourself look imbecilic. Because anyone that just changes their mind and does a 180 without offering a reason just appears to be stupid. And this is the problem here, Kaz Alice. Janie 180 never, ever explained why she did a 180, nor did Beamondo, nor did Kaz Alice. You yourself, Kaz Alice, you accepted, the only one in the accident group, you accepted going live with me, a wholehearted debate. And then you did a 180. You never explained why. It was just, oh, I changed my mind. Why? Why did you change your mind? What made you think it wasn't such a good idea? And it got to the point, Kaz Alice, where, and this is true for Kaz, Janie, whoever it is, I even said, and I repeat, I said, if you just want to say your piece, I can record you. I can record your voice. I can record you 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is. You just speaking, holding forth, no debate. I say nothing. I say, welcome, Kaz Alice. I'm now recording you. You speak for 5, 10, 15 minutes and tell us exactly why you are 100% sure Jay Slater died by accident and purely by accident with no foul play in the background. And you just speak. That's all you have to do. Explain verbally why you believe that passionately. Let's hear your passion. Let's hear your angst when you deliver that speech. And I'm sure we'll all be impressed. And I won't say a word. And yet, Kaz, Janie, PopeChris, Luggy, not one of you can do it. Like I say, I've reduced myself to just being the person that says, when I press record, you start speaking, I end it, and that's it. And I will post it and say, this is the accident group's argument. You won't even do that. Why? That is the question of the day. I think I haven't roasted Jugglers yet, so I see Jugglers' name here. Let's have a look what Jugglers says. He always makes a big thing. I think he's talking about me. Jugglers says he always makes a big thing of claiming he has set something up, and then when he fails to appear, like the inquest, it's excuse, and his flying monkeys never comment. Strange that is. The reason, Jugglers, my so-called flying monkeys never comment is because they know I don't say that kind of thing. I never said, Jugglers, that I would attend the inquest. I was very careful. I said, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I said, Jugglers, it all depends on this ticket situation. And until I got a ticket in hand, I wouldn't commit. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to go back, jugglers, and find where I said I will definitely be coming to the inquest, find it, publish it, and we can all agree you're right and I'm wrong. But in the absence of that, jugglers, you're lying, you're making stuff up, you're doing the luggy nonsense of pretending this happened. I never committed to anything because I knew I might not go there. It's that simple, jugglers. All right, let's leave it there. 25 minutes of roasting, but there will be more to come, of course. As long as Lord Lugworm keeps making an absolute tosser of himself by going on his channel and writing the stuff, there's plenty for us to comment on. In the meantime, I will update you as soon as we have confirmation from West Wales that El Slugtardo is on his way to rumble in the Riviera. Then we will all be ready for Sunday. Hasta luego, adios, hasta la vista. See you later.